Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 39 locations throughout southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. The New Orleans Saints play their first home game of the preseason Friday night. They're here against the Steelers, and obviously offensive output by the first team is important. Improved offensive line play is important, and a good test for the defense against the Steelers frontliners because they've got a lot of skill.
This should be a good test. This is a really good team to draw in Week 3 when obviously your starters are going to be playing the longest period of time. And I'll be looking for a lot of those things that you mentioned tonight. And it'll be interesting to see just how long Sean Payton chooses to go with a lot of his ones. Will we see Drew Brees for a half, maybe in the first series of the third quarter? Again, remember this, while this is Week 3, this is really the last chance for a lot of these guys to work out some of the kinks of the preseason because anyone of any consequence is not going to play next Thursday night against Baltimore.
No, that's not going to happen, and obviously there are still some positions battles going on and some jobs to be won. And if you're going to focus on anything, I mean, everybody's talking about the offensive line, but I don't know that the final roster in terms of who the offensive linemen are is in place yet. We'll see if that's the case. But running back is a really stout competition as we speak. That is also true at linebacker at this point in time. And really a cornerback to go along with kicker. I think those are really the spots to watch for.
And it's going to be interesting in my mind to see what you do with some of these, I don't want to call them wild cards, but how they fit in. How does a Daniel Lasco fit in as potentially on the 53, and what does that do in terms of the skill set that he brings on special teams and how it impacts some other things? Can you afford to carry an extra running back because of his ability to play on the special teams and to be a gunner? What do you do with a Tommy Lee Lewis? Do you try to, get him through and perhaps put him on your practice squad this year, or is he a guy that you think can actually contribute and maybe be your return guy? Along those same lines, Marcus Murphy, I think Friday night's huge for him, depending on what kind of opportunity he gets against the Steelers, because he may be playing for his NFL future in not only the Steelers game, but the Ravens game.
Yeah, and with regard to Lewis, right now, I don't know that the Saints have a fourth receiver, so I think he's in pretty good shape to have a chance to make the roster at large. Stay tuned. We'll see. Should be fun. High school football jamboree action began last night. You can read all the results at SportsNOLA.com as well as my game story on the Hanville Jamboree, which Jesuit beat Hanville in. We'll have the West Bank Optimist Jamboree live on WRBH 88.3 FM and WRBH.org tonight. 5 schools from the West Bank participating. We've done it every year since 2005. And, of course, we'll have all the results as well. So, and our high school football previews on a regular basis, check those out as well. St. Martin's is up this morning, St. Helena tomorrow morning, and many more to come.
It's there. It's here. The Jamboree's underway. The regular season begins next week. First NBC Bank Prep Showcase begins next week with a great one. John Aaron and Riverside, 2 teams that ended last year in the Dome. It's an exciting time, and I know these coaches are excited to kind of fine-tune things the last minute here in the Jamboree, and then you get ready for the regular season come next week.
And we also want to encourage people to check out the newly renovated Saints Hall of Fame at the Saints game tonight. I should have mentioned that earlier. Opens at 5 o'clock, 2 hours before game time, with Michael Lewis signing autographs until 6:15. A massive renovation. You won't recognize it. Really nice.
Looking forward to seeing it myself. And one other thing we should mention about things you need to get ready for, of course, next week, in addition to the First NBC Bank Prep Showcase, it's the season premiere of our sports block on WHNO TV 20. You'll have SportsNOLA TV for a 6th season, beginning Monday at 6. Season premiere of Prep Recruiting Insider. Wednesday night at 6, we'll have Trahan High School spotlighted in the opening show, and the season premiere of the John Forcade Show Thursday at 6, all on WHNO. And we'll even get some clips there on SportsNOLA as well, which you can check out.
And the last promo would be another entity that we sponsor, and that's the 78th year of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club. Great to have the Sports Foundation on board for another year. And the first meeting is a blockbuster next Tuesday, August 30th at noon at the Cannery. And we're looking forward to that because Gail Benson will be there to share, along with new Tulane Athletic Director Troy Dannon, new Tulane football coach Willie Fritz, Verge Osbury, Deputy Athletic Director at LSU, and Bryce Brown of Edna Carr. And it's open to everyone. We encourage people to come. $25 for non-members, lunch served, $20 for members. And it's open to everyone, as I mentioned, Lenny. It's a great opportunity to be in good company and to hear some good speakers about the entities that people are passionate about.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. It's a great program to start the year, and you'll get some great content, if you will, just from these speakers in terms of what is going on as the football season gets ready to get underway.
Looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to talking to you on Monday because that's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 39 locations throughout Louisiana and beyond and growing. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you Monday.
You have a great weekend as well, and we'll talk to you next week. Until then, God bless.